All righty. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 9th episode of Doug's Dugout. And this is the MLB World Series edition. And once again, we've got Mr. Doug Blunt, the MLB historian, past, present, and future. And we're coming live from the resuscitated Studio B, including that pond back there that now looks crystal clear blue compared to last week when it was worse than a resaca. Doug, welcome back.
Glad to be back. Hello, everybody. It's that time of year again.
It is that time of year again. So it looks like we've got the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers that are headed to meet each other in the World Series. Doug, were you surprised?
Yeah, I kind of missed my prediction. I thought it was going to be Seattle and LA, but Toronto got in there. So that's great.
Yeah, definitely. It's not going to be a truly American baseball game, is it?
No, it's going to be Canada against the United States. Canada being our 51st state as it is, okay? Or will be.
And if Toronto is successful, do you think they're going to get invited to the White House?
Well, I don't know. Probably, but we'll have to negotiate that out. There'll have to be some kind of a trade deal or something, The timing of these is going to be interesting because one's on the East Coast and one's on the West Coast.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto's like is it the East or is it the further time zone than the East?
No, it's East. It's East.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Same as Buffalo and New York City and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The People's Republic of New York City.
Well, it was quite a playoff season. It was I was kind of hoping Seattle would pull through, but obviously that didn't happen.
Didn't happen. But it was a good series. Seattle had the lead, going back to Seattle, and they just couldn't get it all together,
Yeah.
And Toronto got hot. That's what happened in the short series. George Springer and Vlad, bad Vlad, Guerrero. He had they gave him that big contract, and he had a super season.
Right.
Plus, and they were healthy this year. Last year last year they finished last or close to it, and they were healthy this year, so they got in there. So made some acquisitions and improved the team. And the Dodgers, everybody knew the Dodgers were probably going to be in it. Okay, because they got the highest payroll and everything.
Right.
Shoni Otani, he put on a show the other night where he hit 3 homers and he struck out, what was it, 10? Oh, he struck out 10 as a pitcher, and he hit 3 homers as a hitter. Okay, Shoni Otani, and then, of course, then the Dodgers have Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, and then the ex-Cardinal, Tommy Edman, always got to get that guy in. He did some fantastic stuff. He drove in a couple runs. So the Dodgers played like crap all year, but then when it comes to playoffs, they got it together.
Right. So what are your expectations for the World Series? By the way, what day does it start?
Starts Friday night. So
for all the games. Go ahead.
They're going to be in Toronto. Okay. They'll be the first 3 games in Toronto, and then they'll fly back to Los Angeles and they'll play the last. Well, there'll be 2 games in L.A. and if there's a sixth game, and then they'll finish it up in Toronto. If it
So
goes
it's
that far.
is it a 7-game series?
Yeah, 7-game series.
Yeah.
So
So
Toronto's
do you think
gotta
it's going to
win.
be a sweep by the Dodgers?
I think that was Toronto needs to win at least 1 game, maybe 2 in Toronto,
Right.
and then they go back to L.A. and then they can battle out back there. And L.A. needs, of course, will need to win 2 out of 3 back in L.A. So I think they will. So stranger things has happened. Some seasons it's 4-zip. Cardinals had a team in 2002 that won like 110 games, and they played Boston in the World Series, and Boston swept them in 4 games.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
got to be 4
and
games. It's got to be a 4-game sweep.
it's got to be the best of 4 out of 7.
Okay. So they've
Yeah.
got to win 4 games regardless.
Right. Correct. Yeah. That's right.
So you're thinking
And
that Toronto will win their first 2 games, their home games.
well, Toronto out of 3 games, the first 3 games. Toronto's got to win at least 1 or at least 2 because they don't want to go over to L.A. being down 3 games to zip. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because LA's got home field advantage when they go back to LA. You see,
Right.
and then LA's only So they got to win probably at least 2 games. Like I said, stranger things happen. The Cardinals in '87 was playing the Minnesota Twins, and the Cardinals came. They started out in St. Louis. And the Cardinals won the first 3 games. They went up to Minnesota, and they played in that little popcorn stadium they had up there with the, what was that? What's a popcorn with the jelly pop on or something like that? And
Right.
they couldn't. It was and the Twins beat them 3 in a row in Minnesota, and then they had to come back to St. Louis, and the Twins won again. So the Cardinals lost the series. You know, so I mean things have happened. It's just strange and. Like Cardinals in 2011, they was just a wild card team. They just barely got into the series as a wild card team. I think they had the worst record in baseball in on the playoff deal, and they end up winning the playoffs against Texas Rangers. World Series against Texas Rangers.
So who do you think?
So
Well, would you say that the Dodgers? It's really the Dodgers to lose, right? They've got most of the firepower.
yeah, I mean they got a pretty awesome lineup. I mean their bats are going to have to go just stone cold. Like you got Otani, you got Freeman, you got Mookie Betts, you got Edmund, you got Will Smith. You know, what's his name? Max is hot right now. They got Paez. He's their center fielder. He's playing good. And then they're pitching. He's got Otani. You can throw Otani in, and then they've they've got a lot of good pitchers. And they can just what they call a bullpen game is what you do. You start out with one pitcher, and then he just goes 1 inning, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next inning you bring in another guy. And the Dodgers have so much depth on their pitching that they can go, they can throw a new pitcher at you every time.
Yeah.
Because in baseball, the more times the pitcher has the advantage at the first time they face the batter. The second or third time, by the third time, the batter kind of knows what the pitcher's going to throw. You see, so the Dodgers can just keep on changing pitchers all the time, and they've got that much depth because see, there's so many there's so many. There's travel days, and then there's days off in between. So
Hmm.
those pitchers can recover if they only throw 25 or 30 pitches, they recover right away, and so they can stick them the next night or whatever. You know, I Toronto. I mean they got there, and but if somebody like their best name pitcher is Max Scherzer. He's been around for almost 20 years, and he's played with several teams, but he actually played for the Astros one time. He's a pitcher
Yeah.
that's got one different color eye. One's blue and one's another color, okay?
Oh, wow.
And I mean,
I have a
he's
dog
a
like
Hall
that.
of Fame. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Fame. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer, but he's not the same pitcher he was 5 years ago or 4
Yeah.
years ago. But he never know, and he's never done really well in any type of championship series.
Hmm.
So he wants to redeem himself. So I think it's going to be an interesting series.
Yeah. So what does Doug's crystal ball say?
I'm going to go with the Dodgers in 6.
All right. In game 6?
Yep, they're going to play 6. It's going to take them It's going to take 6 games for the Dodgers to win 4 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
Dodgers in
basically
6.
yeah. So you're basically saying that Toronto's going to win the first 2. Would that be right?
I would say, and yep, and then the Dodgers will probably. Well, let me say this: out of the first 3 games they play is in Toronto. I believe Toronto will win 2 of those 3 games.
Okay.
Okay, and then they'll go back to L.A. And then since the Dodgers have home field advantage, I think that the Dodgers will get hot, and that crowd in L.A. is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not saying Toronto doesn't have a good crowd, but I'm just saying that the Dodgers fans are like, they kind of go nuts out there.
Right.
And I believe the media wants the LA Dodgers to win too. So
I would think so, right?
well, they get the best ratings that way. See,
Right.
they're probably turning. If the Dodgers had their way, they would want a Yankee Dodger World Series. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the Dodgers or Dodgers or Boston or
Right.
Philadelphia. Didn't happen. Didn't happen this year, so they got Toronto.
Yeah.
It's all about Danny. It's all about the Benjamins, guy.
That's right. Whoever attracts
Yeah.
the bigger Benjamins or the larger amount of Benjamins, right?
Yeah. The type of dollars these guys are playing for, it's probably, what would you call them? Alexander Hamiltons or something? I guess. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
But it's all about the Benjamins. So
So which dollar bill is Trump going to be on?
I don't know, but the story is he wants to be remembered. Okay, he wants to be like out there at Mount Rushmore with all the presidents, and there may
Right.
not be room for him, so he'll just turn around and buy him a mountain. He'll
Yeah.
buy him a mountain for him. Then he'll have somebody come in and carve his face on there.
Well, there's plenty of room over at the Sioux Monument.
Oh, that's going to take a while. That's all done by private funds. Crazy Horse, the Crazy Horse.
Yeah, isn't it Crazy Horse?
Yeah, that
Because,
thing won't
you
be
know,
done
for a
till like-
while, they wanted to put Reagan on Mount Rushmore. But that kind of came and went, right? That idea.
Yeah. I think the
So.
Iran-Contra deal kind of killed that one. Trump could probably buy his own mountain and put it out there,
True.
It'd be a gold mountain. It'd be a gold mountain.
I just will find it kind of hilarious if Toronto pulls this and they have to go to the White House.
Well, can you imagine what the politics would be of Tudor? What's his name? Tudor? Not Tudor,
Is it Tudor?
but yeah. If he was still in office,
I know.
okay, yeah, because he was, the story goes that he was Castro's illegitimate son, right?
Okay.
That's a joke.
Was that rumor or was it
That's
just somebody made it up?
He worshipped. He thought that Fidel Castro was a pretty great guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Who was it? Was it a football team or a baseball team that Trump invited one time? And he bought them Big Macs, Filet-O-Fishes, and nuggets. I can't remember if it was a baseball team or a football team.
I think it was a football team. I know the Eagles. They won the championship one year with under Trump Trump 45.
Yeah.
And they didn't go. The Eagles didn't go, but this last year they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to get some fancy dinner. He's going to give them Big Macs, Filet-O-Fish, and nuggets.
Yeah. Will the ballroom be done by then?
No, it's not going to be done by then. In fact, I'll be surprised if it's done by the time his term ends. But,
No, I think it'll be done.
Yeah.
I think it'll be done.
All right.
Says, hey, I'm a builder, and I hear that noise. I'm a builder. And when I hear that noise, I think of money. Right?
Yeah.
That's what he said. That's what Trump said. He'll be pushing to get that ballroom done.
Well,
I don't care. The taxpayers aren't paying for it.
Well, true. But, I've been to a lot of places in the world, seen some palaces with great ballrooms. It makes the White House look like a cardboard shop, right?
Yeah.
And, people don't realize that that building is old. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stories about rats and mice lurking all over the place, roaches. I mean, that place is old.
Teddy Roosevelt built it. The East Wing, or that wing, and Hoover who was it? Calvin Coolidge did something to it, remodeled, and then Hoover did something, and then about that time Roosevelt came in and put a swimming pool in.
Right.
And then Truman, the White House was about ready to fall down, and so Truman had to take everything down except the walls. He made sure the walls were still up.
Right.
The original walls. And he lived across the street for almost his whole administration. And then Eisenhower didn't do anything to it. Then Kennedy came in. A lot of shenanigans were going on there. And then I think they put it, I think it was Nixon put a bowling alley, and then he turned it into the White House press room.
Right. And then Carter placed solar panels on the White House roof. Reagan took them down.
Then Hillary stole all the furniture out of the White House and had to then all the furniture and the silverware, and then they said, no, you can't take that with you, so she had to return it.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, to see what happens with Toronto if they're able to pull through, But I have a funny feeling it's probably going to be the Dodgers, though.
Oh, I think so, too. They've got to be favored. In Vegas, they probably favored.
It's probably going to be the Dodgers.
Yeah, I saw a report that there is no Vegas anymore. Vegas is the crowds are down big time in Vegas, right? The gamblers in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're big time. But Vegas had a really bad year, with tourists, and they all moved to the Indian reservations.
Yeah.
I heard that today. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back, after one or two games to kind of get a recap from you.
I think by this time next week we should know who, what the story's going to be, who's going to win.
So, what day do you think's a good day for a good follow-up show?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they play in Toronto. They're off on Monday, Tuesday. I would say probably a travel day on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, they'll be playing this time next week. This time next week will be what date? The 28th?
Right.
Halloween Eve, 29th?
Right.
Yeah, they always like to have the World Series over with, baseball over with before November 1st.
Okay.
Because because a few years ago there was a big brouhaha. They had to end up playing until November 3rd, and there was a big deal about they're going to be playing to Thanksgiving, and that kind of stuff. And Major League Baseball doesn't like that. They want to get it over with by, before the 1st of November.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Where's my
All right. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back either Monday or Tuesday, depending on your availability. I know you're a busy guy.
Well, the main streets of Rancho. You know how they are out here. we gotta watch out for the National Guard and the
and
Texas
ice
Rangers and stuff out here.
and ice.
Yeah, and we've got quite a few ice people that live out here. Matter of fact, there's a family, right? Couple. I'm out here in the Colonial out here, and there's just a couple of houses down. There's an ice family, nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
And then up front, there's a family up there. The father is a ice, and the mother works for ICE, and the father is a state patrol.
Oh wow, he's a trooper.
Yeah.
He's a trooper. Wow.
Yep.
Well, what do you think of my work on the pond back there? Looks much better.
Looks much better. Yeah, it looks much better. Yeah, even over here in the Resaca, where we swim at, the water was nice and clear last night. It was really nice.
Yeah, I saw pictures of you and Diva swimming in the pool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Were you guys the only one out there?
Yeah.
Not too many people swim in October.
Well, we have here in the Colonial, we have an older crowd, okay, and they got to walk their dogs, okay. And,
okay.
Like that couple up front that state police and ICE, well, they got little kids. That's about the only little kids here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we just, it's almost like the villages down in Florida, but not quite.
Hmm.
A lot of golf carts, a lot of dog walkers.
What we'll do, maybe we'll have Grok join us on the next episode. Let him make a few predictions too.
There you go. There you go, Danny.
All righty, Doug.
Okay, we shall see you
everybody.
later.
This was episode number 9 for Doug's Dugout, the MLB series. We'll be back Monday or possibly Tuesday to follow up on this weekend's games. Once again, the World Series starts on Friday. It's going to be a night game. Doug, do we know where it's going to be broadcasted?
Fox.
Fox? Right. So you guys should be able to get that
Fox. Yeah.
off the air. If you can't get it off the air, go get yourself a go get yourself an antenna. Rabbit ears with aluminum foil.
There you go. We can't.
All righty, everybody.
They're afraid about tearing the roofs up.
I know.
So anyway.
All righty, everybody.
Danny.
That's it for tonight. We'll be back
So
next
long.
week. Have a great evening. Bye-bye, Doug.